because of the atrocity. I want you to come up. I want you to come up. Imam, I want you to come up. I want you to come up. We're here because you said I want you. We are here. We are here because we are here today because of the atrocity that has happened here in the state of Michigan. We have seen one who has stood up for justice in the truest sense of education lose her job. And so we are fired up, we are organizing, and we are preparing ourselves to gear up to get Brooke Harris back to work at Pontiac Academy.
That's right.
We cannot allow people to be browbeaten into not being able to pronounce their values. We cannot allow people to be browbeaten into not being able to live their faith and fight for justice. And so we are standing up today. I'm glad to have Dawood Waleed from CARE, Yusuf Shakur, Ron Scott, other activists from National Action Network. We are here today because we are standing against this type of action. This young lady was fired because she was standing up for righteousness. She was fired because she was standing up for justice. Now, I'm letting you know that myself, National Action Network, Michigan Chapter President, Reverend Al Sharpton, National President, have been in deep conversation about this, and we are going to push this until Brooke Harris gets back to work. And so we're glad so many others are here. Understand this. Student activism is the most important activism. Yeah, that's right. Student activism is the most important activism. Repeat after me. Student activism. Student activism is the most important activism. It's the most important activism. Why do you say that, Reverend Williams? I say that because if it had not been for the Student Nonviolent Coordinating Committee, who decided that they were going to sit at lunch counters against their college professors' wishes, against their university's wishes. If it wasn't for the SNCC students that decided that they were not going to go to school and that they were going to leave school against their principal's wishes, then we would have never gotten justice. And so these young people decided that they wanted to wear their hoodie, that they wanted to send a message just like the President of the United States of America did and the rest of the country, that this is an injustice in this country. And so I want to have Brother Dawood Waleed come. After Brother Dawood Waleed, I want to have Brother Ron Scott, and then if there are any questions for the activists, and if there are any other questions for Brooke from the media, then we will take those also.
Good evening. Good evening. First, I'd like to give all praise and thanks to the Creator, to God, the Lord of the heavens and the earth. May His guidance and may His peace be upon all of you and all of those who follow right guidance from now until the end of time. You know, I yesterday was compelled to reach out to the Southern Poverty Law Center once I saw their press release about Sister Brooke. I called down to Alabama from my office in Southfield and spoke with them about how we at the Council on American Islamic Relations could help Sister Brooke. And I gave them my phone number, and then I talked with Sister Brooke yesterday. And as I've seen the news stories about this particular case in the media, and I've seen some very derogatory comments made about the sister, made about our deceased brother, Trayvon Martin. And I saw a comment about myself on there. of why would care or why would a Muslim be involved in this case. What does this have to do with Muslims? This type of attitude just goes to show the amount of ignorance and the amount of racism that is permeating our society right now. We are all human beings. We are all Americans. And if it's Sister Brooke today, it could be my children being marginalized tomorrow. As a matter of fact, those children that she is teaching, they are all of our children. That's right. And what the school did, the principal did, whether she realizes that or not, is that she taught our children a very horrible lesson. These children are being enlightened, brought into consciousness, and want to do something behind another youth in America who was killed. They wanted to do something positive, to respond to a travesty that is in the national discourse. And instead of the administration using this as an opportunity to help empower our youth, to show them that education is more than just about memorizing a standardized test, they actually, by their actions, repressed the voices of our youth and said that if you stand up to dissent, if you stand up to question the status quo, that you'll be squashed. That is the message they sent when they let Sister Brooke go. So I'm saying right now and here that we are committed to stand with you, Sister Brooke, and we are demanding that Pontiac Academy reinstate you. And if they don't, we're ready to protest, we're ready to march, and we're even ready to give you legal counsel if need so, because if we can't settle this in the streets non-violently, then maybe we need to settle it in the courts of law.
Amen.
No justice,
no peace.
No justice,
no peace.
No justice,
no peace.
Thank you.
I want to thank all of you for being here. Thank Reverend Williams and Dowd and so forth for calling us together. Thanks Sister Brooke and Valerie, I see there, Sister Matilla, who is the grandmother of Ayanna Jones standing there. It's at times like these that I just want to ask you to do one thing before we go any further. Could all of you stand up? Could you just say, if you follow me, Sister, we love you.
We love you.
We care for you.
We care for you.
We will fight for you.
We will fight for you.
We will stand for you.
We will stand for you.
We will do whatever is necessary to make sure that you get your job back and you have justice. I just think it's important to show physically what is in our hearts. Today we had a news conference and I mentioned one thing and we all agreed on it. We were talking about the hoodie. She's a journalism teacher, by the way. All you journalists, she teaches journalism. She went to the school that I did, University of Michigan, where they say, we are the victors.
Yes.
And today, not just for a fight song for football,
That's right.
but she is a victor for her people.
Yes.
That she stood up. She's not fighting on the gridiron. She's fighting in the street, in the street. And when we say that, this young woman, as a journalist, has the duty and the responsibility to defend the First Amendment. That's what journalism is about, the First Amendment. These children are standing up for their First Amendment rights to speak, to say what they believe, what they think. And it says in the Constitution, nothing, no way should that right be abridged. In no way. So that superintendent needs to know that you will not shut the mouths of these children in the same way we will not let you shut the mouths down with dogs, with guns, with water hoses, which the superintendent said. She said she was a child of the 60s. Well, if she was a child of the 60s, she evidently forgot everything that she knew. And I don't want to use the word, but she's become an oppressor of 2012. Because people do change. Don't keep telling me what you did in the 60s. I lived in the 60s. Let's talk about what you're doing today. Now, and I'll say this, I'll take this liberty. Some people ask, like Dawood, they ask Reverend Charles, they ask Yusuf, they ask all these people, they say, what are you young brothers doing? What do you know about what's happening today? They know because Trayvon knows, because everybody knows, because they know when a black person, a Latino person, Arab, whatever, walks down the street with a hoodie on their head, it's not about the hoodie, it's what's under the hoodie. And this is what we're seeing today. I was at Detroit DTE, and they had a sign up in Southwest Detroit. Who do you think that was for? They had it up there, no hoodies. No hoodies. They may have taken it down now, but you ask them. Over in Southwest Detroit, no hoodies. You couldn't walk in the door without a hoodie. I mean, with a hoodie. So I'm saying to you today that we will win this. We already have one because we come here today. I really want to thank Reverend Charles for opening the doors of the historic King Solomon Baptist. And you know what? Being a child of the 60s, I remember when Malcolm X was here. It is our duty, it's our responsibility to fight what Dr. King said, racism, militarism, and all of the other problems that we have today. Trayvon's death has given us life to see what we need to engage in the future. And the other point that he mentioned, Gary, was materialism. When we talk about all of this system needs a job. But they punish people because they want a job, because they want to do the right thing. She's a middle school teacher. All of you probably remember the middle school teacher that taught you to write and read, and if necessary in our schools, whip you behind when you didn't learn. But I love the teachers. My mother was a teacher, my sister's a teacher, my brother's a teacher, and my sister-in-law's a teacher. And when you look around the world, people all over the world honor teachers because it's them, it's they who make us what we are. So this sister is even more special, not just because she stood up, but because what's in her heart, she doesn't make the kind of money that a whole lot of people make. But she gives the spirit of transition, of liberty, of hope, of justice. So she represents the future, and these children represent the future. And we represent the future for being in this room. It's not the old civil rights movement, it's not the new civil rights movement, it's the human rights movement to transform this whole society so that there will never be another person that has to go through the indignity that you went through. That's what we need to say today. That we honor her. We honor all the people up here. I'm glad Matilda is here because Ayana never got a chance to even get to this work. So we are here today to say to you, thank you. Be a part of the movement. Don't just come to the news conference or the rally. Let's get in the streets and let's do some work. We have a lot of work to do. We have a lot of people that are coming up against us. But you know what? There's more of us than there are there.
Everybody stand up. I want you to look at both of these cameras right here. And I want you to say, come on, bro. Pontiac Academy.
Pontiac Academy.
We will see you Monday.
We will see you Monday.
In front of your school.
In front of your school.
Protesting.
Protesting.
And Brooke Harris.
And Brooke Harris.
Is not put back to work.
Is not put back to work.
No justice.
No justice.
No peace.
No peace.
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 No take from the media before we get rolling? All right, we thank all of you all. We want, okay.
Yeah, I was like to do to what her family is facing right now, and similarities to what Trayvon is facing.
All right, well, we'll talk about that. We'll make sure she gets on the program. We'll make sure we take care of that. Thank you. All right, we want to thank all of you all. Come on, have a seat. We're gonna get rolling. We got a few people who we have invited to speak. We're so glad to see my good friend from the AFT here, American Federation of Teachers. Give them a hand. AFT is in the house. How about this is an organizing movement?
That's right.
This is an organizing moment. AFT, the organizing moment. I want to have, how many of you know that in our movements, we have always had great songs, amen? I want to have our dear sister to come, Sister Tamika Gaines, who is,
All right.
why don't you give her a hand?
No justice?
No peace.
No justice?
No peace.
This is a serious journey, Lord. Walk with me, Lord. Walk with me.
All right.
Walk with me, Lord. Walk with me.
engaged in a series of battles, and we're being assaulted on every front.
That's right.
There's not a day, not a moment, not an hour that goes by that a worker of some sort, of some ilk, of some dimension is not being assaulted. You know, as welfare rights, we've been engaged in so many battles for so long, and sometimes people say, well, Maureen, we didn't see welfare rights here, or we didn't see welfare rights there. It's not because we're not interested, it's because we wore out. And sometimes we got to go back and get regenerated, because this is a battle. But the one thing we never lose sight of is that the message is, if you attack one of ours, we may not come back to get you in the morning, but we remember stuff. You know? Yeah, we don't have to necessarily get even, but we're gonna get ready. That's what we're gonna do. It is so critical that you are here today, and there's many of us that can continue to deal with this battle. This sister's under attack today. You'll be under attack tomorrow. But the message, never forget it, never forget it. You're gonna die one day. Everybody in this room, maybe not me, but everybody in this room gonna die one day. And something's gonna happen to you. But let your life be worth something, so that when you make that transition, somebody says, well, what were you about? Well, I was about to fight for social justice. Every time I had a chance. The reason that these folks, these corporations are able to get at us is because we went to sleep. We said this to you. If you let the least of us get into trouble, you let these folks go after these welfare recipients and these mothers, ain't that right, Deborah? And these children and throw them out in the streets, they'll gain energy from that evilness. And they'll go right up the line. They'll go after teachers at charter schools that don't have no protection. That's right. They'll go after folks that used to get SSI. You remember that? People that used to get SSI that were dope fiends and drug addicts and alcoholics. Oh, we don't want them to have no money. How's that working out for you now? Every time we blink and we don't protect a group at arm, a component of the working class, they gain energy from this. I got a message already for on my way here. That part of what's going on with the petition signatures, the font size is too big. You can't make this stuff up. We have to stay in this fight. I'm going to end my remarks because I want you to. You just can't blink. But I'm going to go back to this. They were looking for welfare recipients, and I wasn't one of them, so I didn't say nothing. Then I was looking for people, they were looking for folks that were getting food stamps, and I wasn't receiving food stamps, so I didn't say nothing. They were looking for people that were on Medicaid, and I wasn't getting Medicaid, so I didn't say nothing. They were looking for folks that was in Occupy. I wasn't in there Occupy, so I didn't say nothing. They was looking for the mother that had, what they call it, the Occumom, or whatever they call it, with all the children. I didn't have 8 kids. So I didn't come to her defense. And now we can't find George Zimmerman down in Florida. He missing. He done got online to try to collect some money and got collected money. And the attorneys have come out and said, we gonna quit. Well, let me see your retainer. There ain't no retainer because he never really hired us. We thought we should step up. Every time we blink and don't fill in that void of leadership, these corporations and these greedy politicians that work for them more than they work for us will make certain that they put legislation together to steal Belle Isle, to take the state fairground, to take Hobo Hall. I don't know about you, but when I make my transition and they look and see, Maureen, is that you down there? I'm going straight to heaven, because this girl here understands where the bread is buttered. I'm going to fight for social justice every day. I don't know about you, but if I could be out there by myself with these 2 guys, it'll be at least, and that fella right there, at least be 4 of us. My name is Maureen Taylor. I work for Liberty Welfare Rights. Do something, because I swear to God, you're going to die one day.
She was on fire, didn't I? I want to have, as we come from the Michigan Coalition of Human Rights, one who has been not only from the MCHR but also from what we consider moratorium now. How many of you know we need a moratorium now?
All right. Yeah.
I want to thank Reverend Williams here at King Solomon Church, this historic gathering place of spiritual as well as political growth. I just wanted to also commend the work that comes out of this church, the many demonstrations and many picket lines that I've been on with both Reverend Williams.
That's right.
Yeah, of course, out in front of Chase Bank, out in front of Bank of America, and of course next week, a week from tonight, we're going to be in Troy on Big Beaver Road to protest that great lover of freedom and justice and labor rights by the name of Scott Walker of Wisconsin, who in fact is the political Siamese twin of Rick Snyder right here in the state of Michigan.
Yes, he is.
And we're going to give them the rich welcome that they deserve here.
That's right.
Let them know this is a stand for the rights of working and oppressed people. I just want to say very briefly that we're here this evening to demand justice for Trayvon Martin.
That's right.
That's why we're here today. There are too many Trayvon Martins in the United States today. There are too many Ayanna Stanley Jones in the States today. You know, this government goes all around the world and claims that they are fighting for justice, for democracy, and for peace. But everywhere they go, whether it's Iraq, Iran, whether it's Afghanistan or Libya, or whether it's Colombia, or anywhere else on the planet, that they always leave death and destruction. And that same death and destruction is being leveled against our people right here in the United States of America.
That's right.
And as Malcolm X said from this building some 48 years ago, he gave two very important speeches, Message to the Grassroots, and later he gave the speech Ballad of Bullets. And he said during that speech that revolutions are bloody. He said that. It was a very prophetic statement, not because we want blood to be shed, but that is the reality of the situation. And the blood of Trayvon Martin and the blood of young Ayanna Stanley Jones, of course, has been a profound down payment that we paid as working and oppressed people in this country, contemporarily as well as historically. And we have to avenge the blood of Trayvon Martin and Ayanna Stanley Jones and the many other martyrs who have died over the decades and over the centuries. There have been many cases of police brutality and police misconduct and outright police terrorism in this country just this year. I heard a figure today that over 20 African Americans have been slaughtered in this country just over the last 3 months. We had the death, of course, of 3 African American men in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Just this past Friday, they were killed in all likelihood by some 2 white racist thugs who rode around in a pickup truck and shot 5 men down. 3 of them are dead. 2 of them are in critical condition. We also had the case of Kendrick McDade of Pasadena, California, 19-year-old African American who was killed by the police in Pasadena, California. It appears to be open season on black people here in the United States. So the question is, what are we going to do about it? We have to mobilize, we have to organize, and we have to be vigilant to protect our people, and to protect our lives, and protect whatever we have. And in closing, I just wanted to mention that what happened last week on April 4th, the 44th anniversary of the martyrdom of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., what happened here in Detroit was a symbolic assassination as well. That 5-4 vote by the city council, and the actions of the appeals court that is attempting to set us back decades, if not centuries here in this country, to take our right to vote, to take our right to collectively organize and to collectively bargain. These are rights that we have inherently. They're not given to us by the U.S. government or by any other statutory body in this country. They're inherent rights, they're human rights. And on behalf of the Moratorium Now Coalition, I'd just like to announce that next Monday we're having a meeting also that's going to examine the Trayvon Martin, ongoing case of Trayvon Martin. the situation involving Michael Haynes, who was killed in northwest Detroit here.
That's right.
The mass murders in Tulsa, Oklahoma, that took place some 91 years after the so-called Tulsa riot, where they killed 300 of our people in 1921 in Tulsa, Oklahoma. We're going to have a featured speaker, Reverend Edward Pinckney of Benton Harbor,
All right.
who is also, that city is also under emergency management in the southwest part of the state. So we want to encourage people to come out to the Moratorium Now weekly meeting at 5922nd Avenue. Once again, thank you very much. It's at 7 o'clock. Thank you very much, Reverend Williams, and of course, we shall win.
I want to have one who is a fighter for justice. We have been engaged in so many battles. I want to have Brother Rashid Baynoon come and just say a few words from the air of American Civil Rights Week. Come on, give him a hand.
Thank you. I first of all want to thank all of you and everyone who organized this, specifically Reverend Williams Sr. and Reverend Williams Jr. Last time I checked, Detroit was a part of the United States of America.
Yes.
Last time I checked, Sanford, Florida belonged to the United States of America, right? Last time I checked, we still had the United States Constitution. I don't know about you, but is this really America? Is this what the Founding Fathers fought for? I'm in utter shock that this is happening in our own backyards. The story needs to be told, and I commend all of the organizers, but this fight is exactly that. It's going to be a struggle, and we all must stand in solidarity, and we must continue, because our message needs to reach the masses. People need to know what's going on here in our backyard, because Detroit is a part of the United States of America, and yes, there still is the rule of law, and yes, we still have the rights to elect our officials, and yes, we have the right to demand that justice is served. Not just us, but justice is served. So, I stand before you today as an activist myself, and a person who was deeply touched by the events that took place with Trayvon Martin, because I am Trayvon Martin. Everyone in here is Trayvon Martin.
Right.
The sister who passed away in Florida due to the headscarf. The sister in San Diego, just like Trayvon Martin, he wore a hoodie, she wore a headscarf. Both victims of hate, both victims of bigotry, and both still seeking justice. So I'm standing here today before you in hopes that we will get through this and we will overcome. And I congratulate the organizers. Let us continue to fight, let us continue to pray, but at the same time, it's all about the action. We have to be out there and we have to do our part. So, thank you. Thank you.
Thank Brother Rashid. Want to also, good to see my dear friend, Brother Kazim Ali. Good to see you, the director of the Islamic Center of America out of Dearborn. We're so glad to see that. What she's going through is not a black issue. Trayvon is not a black issue. It's a justice issue. And an injury to one is an injury to all. You hear what I'm saying? So we cannot afford to stand up. And not only that heightens even more the reason why I want to have Sister Tilda Jones to come and just say a few brief words about the tragedy that she dealt with her little girl, Ayanna Jones, who has been passed away. Come on, why don't you just come, give her a hand. All of those who are out there, there are plenty of seats on this side. Please feel free to come on here.
My daughter, Ayanna Jones, was murdered by Detroit police officer Joseph Weekly. It'll be 2 years, May 16th. At the time when they murdered my grandbaby, they arrested me, you know, for what I don't know. I still don't know today. This is a picture of Ayanna when she was first born. Ayanna's mother came and put her in my arms the day after she was born. And so basically I've had Ayanna since she came in the world. And I was there when she took her last breath. My family, I was on behalf of my family. It's been 2 years and it don't get no easier. I don't make a lot of speeches or talk to people because people tend to put what they want to put, you know, in the paper, on the news. They don't put what we feel. And so therefore, because we don't speak, people think that we're guilty. You know, they have Ayanna's father locked up. My son didn't do anything. They just locked him up because the simple fact of the matter, they murdered his 7-year-old daughter. He did no wrong. He didn't kill nobody. He didn't insist on killing anybody. I don't know what to say. I'm new at this because, like I said, I don't speak out on it because people mix my words up. And so, me being the matriarch of my family, I just want to thank everybody. I know there's people out there praying for us, still walking and marching for Ayanna, people all over the world, you know. And so, while they're reaching out, I'm going to grab hold of their hand because it's time for us to stand up and speak out about it. Sister, my mother would work for the Board of Education. And so I know. And so I got your back. I'm finna get out here and start marching.
We got 2 more preachers in the house. I want to ask one of the most progressive pastors in the city of Detroit, who has continued to be on the battlefield for such a long time. He is the pastor of the Greater Mount Tabor Baptist Church, and he is also the president of Detroit Council for Community Empowerment. I'm so glad to have with us Brother Maurice, Pastor Maurice Rudds. Y'all know him as my partner in crime. He always getting me in trouble. Come on, give it up for Pastor Maurice Rudds.
All right, we want to thank Reverend Charles Williams. Let's give him a great big hand. Being such a pioneer and having the courage to speak out and to allow his voice to be heard, a very clarion voice in these dark and confusing times. And I just want to say this, that this season that we're in is a season of adversity. Beyond the shadow of a doubt, there's adversity on every hand, socially, economically, politically. But it's also a season for opportunity. And it's an opportunity for those of us who have a sense of justice, who have a sense of righteousness, to stand up and allow our voices to be heard. I believe that America in some ways has lost its moral compass, lost its direction. It's like losing true north. No one knows where true north is. And so it's going to take us coming together on issues concerning Sister Harris and also young man Trayvon Martin, issues like that, standing up to be vocal. It's time out for being silent. It's time out for watching things that happen on the news and say that's somebody else. The great poet John Donne said, "No man is an island in of himself, but we are all a piece of the continent, a part of the main." He said, never ask for who the bell tolls, because the bell it tolls for thee. So we have to understand that we're all in this together. And you know, I think that's a beautiful thing. I think because I believe there's strength in numbers. I believe there's a certain amount of moral power when we come together on one accord in one place to do some great and some powerful things. And I think this is the season to do it. I believe this is the season to come together on one accord and really stand up for what we believe in. And I'm happy to be here tonight on behalf of Sister Brooke Harris, because I believe no one should be ostracized for standing up for what they believe is right. She did what she felt was right in her heart. There was nothing wrong with what she was doing. And there's no reason why she should have been treated the way she was treated, because she stood up for what was right. And she was being an example for young people. She was allowing young people to know that they can stand up for causes, that they can advocate for somebody else and not be criticized for it. And so we've got to undo a great wrong that has been done. And so whatever we've got to do, we've got to stand in solidarity with our sister and send a unified voice, send a unified message that we're not going to take it anymore. And that we're not going to put up with this. And this is just in microcosm. Brothers and sisters, we got a whole lot of battles to fight.
That's right.
We got a whole lot of battles to fight. This is just the tip of the iceberg. But I believe that situations like this can be a catalyst for some great things to come. And so seeing you all here tonight lets me know that I'm in good company. That there's some people out here who are sick and tired of being sick and tired. And we want to stand up and do something about it. So I feel power in the room. I feel a great sense of optimism in the room. And I believe that if we do all that we can do humanly possible, God will step in and bridge the gap between what's possible and what's impossible. I see y'all out there on the line.
We're going to announce that. We want to have, there would be no Reverend Charles Williams II if there was no Reverend Charles Williams Sr. The one who has stood by and supported in so many ways, and certainly who is an activist in his own right, sometimes to my demise, Reverend Charles Williams Sr.
No peace.
No justice.
No peace.
No justice.
No peace.
No justice.
No peace.
Brothers and sisters, I'm so glad to have us all here today, and I'm just, happy to see so many new faces. I know Maureen Taylor and I know Ron Scott. I've seen so many out in the struggle, but today we see that there's new faces. Right. But as Dr. Martin Luther King said years ago, we've got some difficult days ahead. Yeah. Right. And you can rest assured that it's no joke. If you think about it, Michigan is becoming the new South. Wow. And so when you know this and when you see this, you got to be prepared. And somebody want to know, well, when are we going to do something? Dr. King said over 40 years ago, now is the time. That's right. Now is the time. We got to stop sitting back waiting on President Obama to make a change. Yeah. He spoke about change quite often while he was running. But after he got in office and he wasn't running no more, we didn't hear about change so much. Yeah, that's right. So I say to you today, if you want change, my son told me this about 15 years ago. He said, Daddy, I was reading about Mahatma Gandhi. I hope I pronounced his name right. And he said, what I learned from him and what I read about him and what he said was that You have to be the change that you want to see. We can't sit around and wait on that guy in D.C., the Attorney General, Eric Holder, to bring justice when everybody and even Stevie Wonder can see that injustice is going on and injustice is taking place every day. We have to be that change. So I just want to, and I'm going to take my seat, I just want to invite you to get engaged.
That's right.
You know, don't think that after this young lady, Sister Harris, situation is solved, that everything is going to be all right, and you go back and get in the recliner and get into your comfort zone all over again. We don't have time.
That's right.
To get relaxed all over again. It takes too much to get us energized.
That's right.
You know, we gotta wait till the whole sky done fell out the sky before we realize that the sky is falling. The sky is falling. Did you know that? Did you know that the sky is falling? Say this, I'ma take my seat. One of the greatest sayings that I like to think about and that I recognize and I realize to be very significant. This first of all, let us come to the realization. This is our country.
That's right.
This is our country.
That's right.
All of our country.
That's right.
All of us are American.
That's right.
This is our country. First of all, realize that. And once you realize that, realize what President John Fitzgerald Kennedy said. And what he said was, ask not what your country can do for you, but ask what you can do for your country. And I like to say, get busy, get up. James Brown said, get up, get involved, and get into it.
People get fired every day. Wrongly terminated every day. And they don't do nothing about it. And they say, well, maybe I'll collect unemployment, maybe I won't. Maybe I will appeal the process of unemployment if they deny me, maybe I won't. But there's something about a spirit of somebody who would say, no, I know what my values are. I know what's important. I understand. And I feel like this young lady, Brooke here, standing on the side of justice, deciding to fight no matter what folks would have said, deciding to stand up. You know, you get fired from a job, you question your own self.
That's right.
Maybe I did, maybe I was.
Right.
Maybe I should have said this, maybe I didn't do what I was supposed to do. And so this young lady, amidst all of what was going on, decided to stand up regardless. And so I want you to stand up as we have some words from our dear sister Brooke here. We're going to stand up, we're going to fight for it.
But I just want to thank you all for coming, for supporting me, for hugging me. Thank you a lot. It means a lot. Right. And just thank you, because my students deserve to be heard. And their voices were valid, and they were intelligent, and they were more enlightened than a lot of adults I've talked to. And I wanted to be an example for them that you're worthy of being heard. And if you really believe in what it is that you're talking about, don't let anyone silence you. So just thank you for supporting me and giving that message to my students.
I'm going to say to you that times are like we've never seen them before. And I know most of you will agree with me because you've seen judges talk about our president sending emails saying that they are dogs, that he's a dog. We have seen cities in Michigan taken over under the threat or under emergency management. Dictators have wiped mayors and city council people out. Over 50% of the African American population in the state of Michigan is under state control.
That's right.
We see now a young man who has been shot in the back, one who was just walking with a hoodie and some Skittles. We see right here in the state of Michigan a young lady who was fired for fighting for justice. We see people who are being kicked out of their homes every day.
Yes.
That's right.
Because banks were bailed out.
That's right.
Yeah.
But who bails out the people?
That's right.
We see teachers who used to have dues deduction.
Wow.
We see that being wiped away. We see the labor movement being dismantled.
Yeah.
We see our brothers of the Islamic faith being targeted by axis of evil.
That's right.
We see women who used to have the opportunity to have their say over their body
That's right.
no longer have that say.
That's right.
Look at it. Look at it. Look at it.
I see so many things. We see 44,000 people, 14,000 some odd people, let's just say thousands of people every month kicked off of the welfare rolls, no emergency cash assistance.
Just left.
We see people who do not care about whether there are jobs for the people who need them the most.
Right.
There are so many things, and if you begin to think about them, and sometimes I do think about them because I run from press conference to press conference and rally to rally in the middle of trying to do Bible study and in the middle of trying to do prayer meeting and preach on Sunday. But we see all of these things happening, and I am reminded of a place in the Bible. Can I just tell you for a few minutes?
All right, preacher. Take your text. Take your text.
I'm reminded of a place in the Bible where there was a king by the name of Nebuchadnezzar.
Yeah.
King Nebuchadnezzar, let me tell you about him, Dawood. He was a king who was egotistical, sort of kind of like some of these folks on the conservative side of the aisle. Like John Boehner. I'm not calling no names, I'm just talking about who I'm talking about. Ones who do not care about the people. King Nebuchadnezzar set out a decree, and his decree was that when you hear this music playing, I want everybody to bow down to the music. I want everybody to bow down to the statue. That's interesting to me because that reminds me of the day that we're in right now. Folk act like you ain't supposed to speak up.
That's right.
That's right.
Folk act like how you had a nerve to say you ain't supposed to speak out.
That's right.
Had the nerve to think that Occupy movement ought not be occupying. Had the nerve to think that we shouldn't be upset about Trayvon.
That's right.
So the king set out this decree that said, when the music is playing, I need everybody to bow down. The interesting thing about this is that King Nebuchadnezzar decided to talk to all of his leadership first.
That's what they do.
That's what they do. They talk to the people who got the big titles. Presidents of organizations with long names. I'll let y'all leave that up to y'all.
Figure it out. Figure it out.
That's what they do. They talk to them first. They talk to the city council presidents, and they talk to the mayors and say, you need to bow down to the music. So King Nebuchadnezzar told all of his leadership, he said, I need you to bow down to the music. Music was playing. There was 3 fellas who decided they wasn't going to bow down to the music. Some of y'all might know the story. Meshach, Shadrach.
That bad guy.
I like to call him a bad Negro. King Nebuchadnezzar went to Meshach, Shadrach, and Abednego, and he said to him, he said, look, when my music is playing,
You got to bow.
I need you to bow down. Now, I done hooked y'all up. I done gave y'all contracts. I'm talking about y'all people. Y'all act like I don't know who. I done hooked y'all up now. I done gave you a payoff. DTE done invited you to the special reception. Oh, I ain't talking about the people y'all know. I know y'all don't know these people. I done gave y'all grants. I done gave you cars. Sister Brooke, I done gave you a job.
That's right.
I need you to bow down to my music.
My.
The Bible says that Meshach, Shadrach, and Abednego decided not to bow down to the music. They decided to stand up regardless of what King Nebuchadnezzar wanted them to do. I tell you, after the king went back to Meshach, Shadrach, and Abednego, he said, look, if you don't bow down, I'm going to put you in the fiery furnace.
Oh, Lord.
In other words, if you don't bow down, I'm going to kick you out of your job. If you don't bow down, I'm going to foreclose you out of your house. If you don't bow down, I'm going to cut your contract.
That's right.
If you don't bow down, I'm going to cut your power off. Meshach, Shadrach, and Abednego, they got together. They said, look, at the end of the day, all we got is each other.
That's right.
And if we go down together, we go down together. Meshach, Shadrach, and Abednego told King Nebuchadnezzar and said, look, I'm not bowing down. And I ain't going to tell you no more. King Nebuchadnezzar took Meshach, Shadrach, and Abednego and put them inside the fiery furnace. I tell you something, my friends, when we fight together,
That's right.
when we work together,
That's right.
when we pray together, in all of our different backgrounds,
That's right. That's right.
when we learn that we cannot exist without each other, we can win. The story goes, you're about to...
It's two there.
Let it alone.
The story goes that Meshach, Shadrach, and Abednego was inside of the fiery furnace. King Nebuchadnezzar looked down into the fiery furnace. And he said, where are those boys? The Bible said that they were walking around the fiery furnace. And my brothers and my if we work together, if we protest together, if we march together, if we stand together, then King Nebuchadnezzar will be looking at us at Pontiac School. Then King Nebuchadnezzar will be looking at us down at the city of Detroit. Then King Nebuchadnezzar will be looking at us in Sanford, Florida. And King Nebuchadnezzar will be looking at us in the courtroom. Then King Nebuchadnezzar will be looking at us in Bank of America. Then King Nebuchadnezzar will be looking us down at the governor's house. And we can win. We can win. We can win. We fight together. We can win. We fight together. We will win. We will win in Pontiac. We will win against the bank. We will win. We will win. We will win. We will win if we work together. Y'all, I wasn't supposed to do that. Ain't no cameras around here. Do that kind of stuff in public.
Soldier suit. Soldier.
We can win if we work together. If we work together. If we stand, do not allow yourself. See, I know the crux of that story always is that, well, that God stepped in and God was with them, and I understand that part, Reverend. But I believe that if they weren't standing together,
All right.
one of them would have just sold out. If just one of them, do y'all hear what I'm saying? If just one of them said, no, man, I ain't doing that. But it was because they were standing together, they won. We gonna win. Y'all wanna win? All right. This is what we want to do. I want to win for Brooke Harris. Do you want to win?
Yes, sir.
There's two ways we're going to have to fight this. We're going to have to fight it in the streets, and we're going to have to fight it in the courts. And I'm glad that we got Ron Scott here, because we're going to make sure that we don't get no vulturistic attorney. Y'all know what I'm talking about. We got folk from Legal Aid Defenders, we got folk from the National Lawyers Guild, whatever. We're going to get our team together, and we're going to make sure she can get taken care of. But I know you don't have a job right now.
Right.
You don't have any unemployment right now. You don't have a union. And you just drove from Detroit or from wherever you from. She's from Egypt somewhere. Where are you from again? Frey Township. Somebody knows about that. I don't know. Ray Township. She drove from Ray Township to Birmingham, Alabama. She did. I'm not telling you what. Huh? New Orleans. Drove over to New Orleans to meet with the Southern Poverty Law Center. She did that. I want to help her. I want to help her. We want to help her with legal fees. We want to help her just personally, but we want to help her. Reverend Williams, Sr. Oh. She know what to do.
Don't be scared, y'all.
Don't be scared. Don't be scared. Don't be scared. Look, this is what we do. We just pass it from the back to the front. Don't. Everybody gonna give something. Everybody gonna give something. We just want everybody to give something. We're standing together. Tamika, can you come bless us with one more song, and then we're gonna have a word of prayer, and we're gonna dismiss ourselves out.
If anybody asks you who I am, who I am, who I am, if anybody asks you
This is the time right before we get ready to dismiss that everybody grudges, but this is the time, important time. So, April 17th, 2012, at 5 o'clock, we're going to be in Troy at the where is this? San Marino Club. Restaurant. Where we're going to be protesting Governor Scott Walker. How many of y'all know Governor Scott Walker? Yeah. Anybody know? Governor Scott Walker. April 17th, Governor Scott Walker from Wisconsin, who has put all of these draconian policies together, part of this whole agenda. I won't say right wing, but I just put it up to your imagination. Part of this whole agenda to destroy the middle, the working, the poor, and everybody who ain't in the 1%. April 26th, we are going to be protesting. I want Lori, why don't you raise your hand? Lori, April 25th. Where's Maria at too? Maria, Lori, and Maria. I want you to see them about April the 25th. We are going to be protesting this is my friend here also. April the 25th, we're going to be protesting general election. How many of you know they have not paid taxes in years? Wow. That's right. General election. They don't pay taxes. Do you know DTE ain't paid nothing either, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Y'all think I'm joking? It sounds like a joke, don't it? Yeah. These folks have not paid taxes. However, they have been bailed out in so many ways, but they still cutting, and cutting more. And folks like GE are not only cutting, but they are also funding the Koch brother coalition and all that. Y'all know about the Koch brothers? All right, so I'm talking to the choir. I know y'all know about this stuff. So let's put on your calendar April 25th and put on your calendar April 17th. Am I missing something?
Yeah, tomorrow morning, Reverend Pinckney is asking people to come support him in court at the Pomona Young Municipal Center, the 10th floor. So it's Brian Sullivan's court. He is suing, he has a lawsuit it's actually against the National NAACP for conspiring with Whirlpool to remove him as head of the NAACP in Benton Harbor. So he is asking for people's support.
Well, we're going to certainly continue to be in prayer. So make sure that you put that thing down if you.
26.
The 26th.
The day after, we deal with general election. Lansing, we may have to go there for the petition drive because the fonts on the petition are too big.
Fonts on the petition too big. So we 26. Put that on your date. Next Monday, we're going to Pontiac. Well, let's put it like this. Tomorrow we will be having a strategy meeting in Pontiac Academy. and then we will discuss strategy from there. So we want you to come to that tomorrow night at 6 o'clock if you can make it. And then from there, on Saturday. Now every Saturday, I'm letting all of the activists here know, every Saturday the National Action Network meets at 10 a.m. right here. King Solomon Baptist Church provides breakfast. And so we want to invite all of you all to put it on your weekly schedule, because this is our opportunity to begin to mobilize and organize so we can get a big base to shoot a gun if we need to. We don't want a BB gun. Well, I don't mean it like that.
I don't know why
Revolution is bloody. That's right. Figuratively speaking. But there's so much going on, and you all know. And I just accepted my fate in life. I thought I was going to be something else in life, but I just accepted that this is what I'm supposed to be doing. So if we're going to be protesting every weekend, we need to galvanize the troops. Y'all hear what I'm saying?
That's right.
So every Saturday morning, we have a galvanizing meeting, and we make the announcements for what all going on throughout the week in terms of issues. All right? Are all hearts and minds clear around the issues and actions? I want you to be prepared. I'm glad we got a big group here, because I want you to be prepared for a trip to Sanford, Florida. I want you to be prepared. We will be, for the next couple Saturdays, we're going to definitely be talking about that. I'm just kind of waiting to hear what Reverend Sharpton, in terms of what is he thinking in terms of national strategy, but he has definitely said that we need escalation. And he can't escalate because he's on TV, so he may need us to escalate. Y'all hear what I'm saying? So the escalation is definitely in the plan for this issue. So just look out for the Facebook, look out for the word, look out for the phone call, look out for the email, because we might have to take a freedom ride down to Sanford, Florida. All right, this young lady back here.
Reverend, my name is Renelle Cunningham from Northeastern Family Community Center, and we are having a forum to discuss programs that our people in the community can avail themselves with. You are welcome to come and give a brief 2-minute presentation about what we want to do in as well.
Okay.
And I thank you so much for allowing me to say that.
All
Thank
right,
you.
all right.
Continue the good work that you and your father,
We are all doing it
the
together. Don't
Honorable
give me no
Reverend,
credit.
are doing.
Is there
Thank
anybody else that want to make any announcements or anything else? All right, brother.
My name is Pat. I'm a steel worker at Great Lakes Steel. I'm with Occupy Detroit. On May 1st, ourselves and a number of other groups are going to be starting off at Clark Park and Mayberry School, which people know is closing, heading down to the train depot, which we know what's his name, the billionaire, owns, heading down past by the federal courthouse, and then down to Grand Circus Park, where Occupy, pretty much got started here in Detroit. So basically, we're asking everybody to join us and bring your own issues, because we're all one big river with a lot of different currents in it, and we need to educate each other and focus on that that power above us.
What's the date?
It's May 1st. It'll start at about noon, but there'll be different activities going all the way downtown. It's starting pretty much the Michigan One, which is a migrant group which is active in big May Day activities for the last 5 or 6 years, is involved. We'll start there, heading on down toward downtown, hitting all these different spots. The transportation, I think depot, because they got transit issues going on. A lot of stuff. So all sport well.
My name is Ryder L. Bush. I'm with Occupy Detroit in Macau. I just left a Occupy meeting. I apologize for being tardy. We 100% support the Trayvon Martin rally in March, and we're setting up a tent city in the Brightmoor area on Friday, and we will begin housing the homeless in that area then.
All right.
My name is Stephen Boyle. I've been doing an awful lot with the Occupy movement around transit, and on the third Thursday of each month, DDOT holds a public meeting. We'd love to have that meeting filled because Detroit is over half transit riders. We need some support for transit in this city. It's devastating to see what they're doing to privatize the system.
All right. That's a big one. What's May 17th? Thursday.
April 17th.
We talked about that. I just show up at stuff when people call me, Reverend, are you coming? Are you coming? Let us stand. I want to ask that my good friend, Imam Dawood Wali, would close us out in a word of prayer.
Let's open up our hearts and our minds and submit ourselves to the oneness of the Almighty and the Creator. I start off saying a translation of a prayer from our father Abraham in the holy book of the Muslims, the Quran, our father Abraham, where he said, "Surely I turn my face upright to he who originated the heavens and the earth, and I am not of the idolaters. Surely my prayer, my sacrifice, my life, and my death all belong to God, the Lord of the worlds. And with this I am commanded, and I am the first of those who completely submit. Oh dear God, we stand in front of you today, humbled, and we ask for you to continue to shower us with your many blessings that sometimes we take for granted. Oh God, we ask you to grant us hope.
Yes.
We ask you to shower upon us your patience.
Yes.
Patience in those things that we love, and patience in those things, oh God, that we don't love. Dear God, we ask you to make us of those who came before us who were righteous, who stood up for justice.
Yes.
Grant us the courage that you gave Moses when he stood up to Pharaoh. Oh God, grant us the fortitude that you gave David when he faced Goliath. Dear God, we ask you to bring justice down, as well as your mercy, that you give justice to the family of Trayvon Martin, and the hundreds and thousands of Trayvon Martins that have come before. We ask you, oh dear God, to grant your protection, your cover upon our dear sister, Brooke Harris. During this time of adversity in her life in which people want to question her sincerity, want to question her integrity, and involved in character assassination on social media and on the internet. Strengthen her in her resolve and her certitude, and that she continues to be a moral example for our youth and our children. We ask all of this in the right of your name, O God. Amen. Amen.